Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I will teach you how to build a passwordless authentication using React and FastAPI. And all of this is going to be implemented using super tokens. Super tokens is an open source alternative to Firebase, AWS Cognito, and Auth0. With super tokens, you can add free and secure authentication to your web applications. All you need to do is just to choose the authentication feature you want, and the code will be generated for you. So in this application, I'm going to teach you how to authenticate a user into your application with just the user's email address or the phone number. Without much delay, let's get started. So I have a folder created already for this project, and since our project is going to have the backend and the frontend side, let's start with the backend. So I'm going to create a folder for the backend, and on my terminal, I'm going to change directory to the backend folder. And then also, since our backend is going to be with FastAPI, I will need to install and create a virtual environment for the backend. So I have these requirements met already. So wait for the installation to complete if you have not installed it yet. So now with our virtual environment installed, let's go ahead and create one for our project. This is virtual. So we have virtual environment created in our backend directory. So now let's go ahead and activate it and install FastAPI. So now let's go ahead and install FastAPI. So this installation will take a little bit of time. I'm going to continue right after the installation is completed. So with FastAPI installed, now let's head over to the super tokens official website. And then I'm going to click on documentation. And right here, you're going to see that Super Tokens has a lot of authentication that you can add to your application. So we're going to choose the passwordless. And we are working on the backend. So let's click on the backend. So it also has integration for both Node.js, Golang, and Python. So we are using Python. So now let's go ahead and install the Python module. And then while the installation is in process, let's go ahead and create our entry file to the FastAPI application. So now let's provide the information for our application. So we're going to call this, okay, this is FastAPI React, this is okay. And since our FastAPI is going to listen to port 8000, we're going to leave this by default. And also our front end, React front end is also going to listen to port 3000. We're also going to leave this by default. So everything goes this way. So now this is one of the beauty of super tokens. So since we have selected the configuration that we want for our application, you can see that the code has already been generated for us here. So all we just need to do is copy the code to our main.py file. And also we're going to select our delivery method. So we're using email. You can also use phone number, and you can also use both email and phone number. But for this tutorial, we're going to use the email. So this should come right up here. So we have this imported already. Yeah. And so we're going to get rid of this. So we're going to add calls to our backend to allow the front end to interact with our front end, our backend. So we're still going to copy all of this. So since we have this ported somewhere, let's oh sorry. And let's get rid of this. And okay. All right, so let's bring in this. So as you can see, we have added all that is required to implement a password authentication to in our application. Just a few minutes. So it didn't even take us up to 30 minutes to do all of this. So now let's go ahead and test this out by running the server. So we don't have any error, which means everything is okay. So as you can see, Spark Tokens also has the routes for application created for us. So if you want to send a one-time password to the user, you can send it through these endpoints. So you can see all the endpoints to also resend when the user maybe didn't get the password that was supposed to be sent to their email, and also how they consume the exits and this is for the phone number. So now let's go ahead and test this out using Postman. So this should, let's get this. And then in our body, we're going to add a JSON encoded body. So I'm going to add my email address. Okay, it should be a post request. So as you can see, Spark Token has generated a one-time password for this user. So Spark Token does not have an email service yet. So here, right here now, you can implement that yourself to send this token to the user through their email addresses. So now with our backend set, let's go ahead and configure the front end. At this point, our backend has been implemented. We can now generate and send one-time password to our users via their email addresses. Now, let's go ahead and implement the front end of this application. To get started, you're going to open a new terminal tab, and then you're going to create a React application. And we're going to call this front end. So this will take a little bit of time to install and set up. So I will have to pause the video and continue after the installation. Our React application has successfully been created. Now let's go ahead and change directory into our React front end. And back to the Spark Tokens website. Right now we're going to click on the front end. And also we need to install the Spark Tokens React module. So we're also going to be doing a similar thing to what we did at the back end. We're going to also submit the information about our application. So this also goes. We're going to submit this to generate the code. So you're going to copy this code and update the code in our app.js file. So here, some people asking us if we want to use React Router DOM. So I'm going to click yes, and we're also going to copy this code into our app.js file. So we're going to place this, and right here we're going to get all of these. So we're going to take them up here. Oh, sorry. Okay, we have React imported already, so we're going to do that. And also we have spot tokens imported, so let's just get this. And use them. So now we can get rid of this. And also we need to install the React Router DOM to be able to use our React Router DOM in our application. So once this installation is done, we are going to install React Router DOM. So but before then, let's continue with our project setup. We don't need any interceptors. And as you can see, that is all we need to set up our application. So when we go to this /auth route, this screen now will be shown to us by default. Spotify has already handled the UI for us also. Now let's go ahead and install our React Router DOM. So once this installation is completed, we can now run our application and test it out. And another thing also to remember, ensure that your backend is also running while you start the front end. Because this is because the front end interacts with the backend to get the token that has been generated to create a section for that user in the browser. So our React DOM installation has completed. Now let's go ahead and run the application. Okay, our app component was not exported. Okay, everything works. We are having some warnings. Okay, this is the route and the link, so we're going to use this later. So now let's look at our application. So let's now go to the /auth route. So now you can see Spartacus has already created the UI for you. All you just need to user to add their email address. So as you can see, if we go back to our backend, now we can see that smart tokens has also generated a one-time password. So let's copy this and then get authenticated. So you can see say something went wrong. We have an error in our backend. I'm going to pause this video, get this error fixed, and then we'll continue later. So I think that error was caused as a result of poor internet connection because I tried to get authenticated again and then everything worked fine. So let's confirm this. So as you can see, let's try again. So as you can see, everything now works fine. Smart Tokens also offers a method to handle these errors. So, but I won't be covering that in this tutorial. So let's go back to the terminal and then get our token. So the user has been authenticated. So as you can see, the user has been redirected to the home page. And now let's add another route to our app.js so we can see the effect when the user gets authenticated. So let's just add a header here. So as you can see, we're now the home route. So let's try navigating to the alt routes. So we can't navigate to the alt routes because the user has been authenticated. So if we should inspect the application and then clear, as you can see, the cookies are generated by smart tokens. So we should clear these cookies. So we should be able to access the alt route again. So yeah, as you can see, you can now access the alt route again. So whenever a user gets authenticated, cookies will be generated and the user will be redirected to the home page. So we can also protect these routes. As you can see, by default, we just navigate to these home routes without being authenticated. So we can also protect these routes. So to do that, we're going to use the passwordless method that we imported here. So we're going to wrap everything inside the passwordless password notes. Okay, this should, yeah, yes. Okay, so this way, this route has been protected. So we can't access this route if you are not authenticated. So as you can see, if you try to access the home route, we are being redirected to the authentication route. So thanks guys for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll be dropping the GitHub repository link of this project in the comment section. Feel free to clone and follow along. And also the link to the super tokens documentation is also in the description. Feel free to explore super tokens, add any authentication picture or you want in your application, and see you in the next video. Bye.